Welcome back to Dreamkatcher Daily. Today we arrive at card 9 in the Major Arcana, the Hermit. In our last session, we explored Strength, a card of courage, patience, and compassion. Strength reminded us that the gentleness can be the most powerful form of mastery, showing us how to guide our instincts with love instead of force. Now the journey shifts once more. The hermit retreats from the noise of the world, carrying only a lantern to light his way. This is the card of solitude, wisdom, and inner truth. It asks us to stop seeking answers outside ourselves and instead look within. This card invites us to consider, where in my life do I need stillness to hear my own wisdom? What truths can only be found when I step away from distraction? And how can I carry my own light, not to force others to follow, but simply to shine in the darkness? The Hermit teaches us that the answers we long for may not be loud or obvious, but they are already within us, waiting in the silence. The Hermit is card 9. In tarot, 9s represent completion and reflection. They are the final stage before 10, the number of transition and new beginnings. 9 is the pause, the moment to look back at the road behind before stepping into our next cycle. 9 also carries the wisdom of experience. It reminds us that knowledge is not only gathered in books or through study, but lived through trials, challenges, and reflection on what has been learned. The Hermit is ruled by Virgo, a sign of discernment, service, and humility. Virgo energy sorts through the details, separating what matters from what doesn't. It is thoughtful, reflective, and careful, reminding us to live intentionally instead of rushing. The element of this card is Earth, steady, grounded, and practical. Earth tells us wisdom is not meant to float above life, unreachable and abstract. It is meant to be walked, step by step, grounded in daily choices, routines, and actions. The card from top to bottom. The gray sky. Above the Hermit stretches a neutral sky. Unlike the golden skies of awareness we've seen in other cards, gray suggests stillness, quiet, and mystery. It's the in-between space, neither bright nor dark, reminding us that wisdom often lives in subtle spaces where we pause and reflect. Wrapped around him is a plain, colorless gray cloak. It hides his identity and strips away distraction. The Hermit doesn't shine for attention or wear symbols of status. His wisdom is lived quietly, inwardly, free from ego. Time and age are etched into the features of his face. His wisdom is not quick or youthful, but matured through experience. And his white beard symbolizes authority and the guidance earned by years of reflection. The staff in his left hand provides support, stability, and authority. It's the symbol of a guide, steady, disciplined, and trustworthy. The Hermit leans on it as he walks, showing us that even the wise need support along their path. The lantern in his right hand he has held forward. The lantern shines just a few steps ahead. It doesn't light the whole path, only enough for the next choice. It's a reminder that clarity comes gradually and that often the next step is all we need to see. The six-pointed star inside the lantern, known as the Seal of Solomon, the star is a symbol of higher wisdom and divine light. It represents the union of opposites, spirit and matter, masculine and feminine, inner and outer. This light is not just for him, but for any who choose to walk near his path. The Hermit's lantern is the wisdom of mentors, guides, or even our own tuition, that gentle spark that helps us find our way. Rising behind him are the mountains in the distance, symbols of challenge, perseverance, and spiritual ascent. They remind us that wisdom requires effort. The climb may be steep, the air thin, but the view from higher ground is worth the journey. The snow beneath his feet. The hermit, he stands on snow, pure, clear, but also cold. The snow represents truth stripped of comfort. It is clarity that can feel harsh or lonely, yet it reveals what is real. The hermit accepts this path, knowing that real wisdom sometimes requires sacrifice. The hermit's lesson is the power of solitude and inner guidance. He teaches us that the answers we seek may not come from outside world, from noise, from approval, or from constant activity. They come when they are willing to step back, quiet down, and listen to the voice within. But his lantern also reminds us that wisdom is not meant to be hoarded. The hermit shines his light ahead, not only for himself, but so that others may see. He doesn't demand followers or call attention. He simply walks with his truth, and by doing so, becomes a guide for those ready to learn. Upright, the hermit is a call to step back, reflect, and seek inner truth. It represents introspection, wisdom, and spiritual guidance. This may be a time to journal, meditate, study, or simply pause before making your next move. In relationships, the hermit can show the need for reflection, not rejection, but honesty about what truly matters. In work, it may point to learning from mentors, becoming a guide for others, or aligning your path with your deeper purpose. The hermit is also the light bearer, showing that sometimes we lead not by speaking loudly, but by quietly living in truth. Reversed, the hermit warns of isolation without growth, withdrawing too far, avoiding truth, or getting stuck in overthinking. In relationships, it can show distance or avoidance. In career, it may be analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect answers instead of asking. It is, at its core, reversed. The hermit asks, if you're retreating for wisdom, or are you hiding out of fear? The lantern is still lit, but you must choose to look at it. The hermit reminds us, wisdom is found in the quiet. His lantern does not reveal everything, but it shows us enough, the next step, the next truth, the next insight. As you move through your day, ask yourself, where can I create space for stillness? And how can I trust the light of my own inner wisdom to guide me one step at a time? In our next lesson, we'll meet card 10, the Wheel of Fortune, a card of cycles, destiny, and the turning tides of fate. Thank you for joining me on today's journey. If this message brought you clarity or encouragement, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need this reminder. And we'll see you next time on Dreamkatcher Daily.